It isn't easy to let a stranger into your home to do any kind of work. I know I always have somebody with me when I have someone come to the house, and there is a reason for that. It's a true story. When I was growing up, my parents had a sprinkler system installed. My dad was one of those guys really picky about his lawn. It looked great, but we couldn't play on it. We had to do our wiffle ball games on the empty lot next door. Well, each year the same guy would come over to open up the system in the spring, and then he'd winterize it in the fall. Jeff was an okay guy, but there was always something just a little bit off about him. I was a teenager and I never said anything because I didn't think that it was my place. Here's a little tidbit that's important to the story. The sprinkler controls were in the basement of the house, down by the dirty laundry basket. Fast forward about 5 years, Jeff is still servicing the sprinkler system while I'm working as an anchor and reporter in Traverse City, and I would come home on the weekends to use my mom and dad's washer and dryer. But if I'm being completely honest with you, I would tell you that I would come home so my mom would do my laundry. One day, we got a phone call asking me to go to the Michigan State Police Post in Flint. They had some things of mine that were connected to an unsolved case. Talk about freaking out. We got there, and there was some of my underwear labeled with my name, address, and my phone number. It turned out that Jeff was a serial killer. True story. He was linked to 2 previously unsolved and brutal cases in Flint and Romulus. He had stolen hundreds of pairs of underwear through the years and hid them in the garage wall of his home. There were 2 women whose undergarments were labeled, me and one other person. Police believed those women were going to be Jeff's next victims. I was targeted as the next victim of a serial killer and serial rapist. As a woman, you have every right not to let somebody into your home. If you don't feel comfortable, don't open the door. You have to speak up. You have to do something. So what can you do? If you're uneasy about the person's appearance or the vehicle that they arrive in, don't open the door. Don't do it. Plain and simple. Don't open the door. The second thing, don't hesitate to contact the company's main office to talk about your concerns. They can't change anything if they don't know. Thirdly, if you do let them in, remember it is your right to ask them to hit the road and to leave. Again, I can't say this enough. You should never, ever, ever feel uncomfortable in your own home.